I still remember the moment the world turned into fire and silence. The blast from the IED hit our convoy without warning. 1 second I was scanning the road, doing my job, protecting my team. The next, pain unlike anything I had ever known tore through my body. When I woke up in the field hospital, doctors were working frantically around me. I heard someone say I might lose my leg. I heard someone else say I was lucky to be alive. Lucky. My name is Emily. I'm a combat veteran. For 7 years, I served with everything I had in me. I missed birthdays, holidays, and quiet family moments because I believed in something bigger. I believed that if I sacrificed, the people who loved me would be there when I needed them. I was wrong, lying in that hospital bed. Machines beeping around me, my body shattered and bandaged. I reached for my phone with trembling fingers. I called my mother first. My voice was weak, barely above a whisper. Mom, it's Emily. There was an explosion. It's really bad. I need you. Please come. I heard her gasp. I heard her start crying. Oh my God, baby. We'll be there as soon as we can. I love you. Stay strong. Those words kept me going through the worst nights. I imagined my family rushing to the airport, dropping everything to be by my side. I pictured my mother holding my hand, my father telling me he was proud of me, my younger sister making me laugh even through the pain. None of it happened. Days passed. Then weeks. The surgeries were brutal. I lost part of my left leg below the knee. The physical pain was constant, but the emotional silence from my family cut even deeper. My mother sent a few short texts. We're praying, money is tight right now. My sister posted on social media about her busy life, but never once asked how I was doing. My father didn't call at all. I told myself they were scared. That seeing me broken was too much for them. I made excuses because the alternative, that they simply didn't care enough, was too painful to accept. While I learned to sit up, to move, to face the mirror without crying, my family stayed distant. The military became my real support. Other wounded soldiers became my brothers and sisters. Nurses became my temporary mothers. But at night, when the pain meds wore off and the room grew quiet, the loneliness crushed me. Months later, I was transferred to a rehabilitation center closer to home. That's when the compensation letter arrived. Combat-related disability payout. Back pay, benefits for life. A significant amount, the kind of money that could give me a real chance to rebuild my life, buy a home that was accessible, and finally feel secure. For the first time since the explosion, I felt something close to hope. But what I didn't know that day was that this money would expose the truth about my family in the most heartbreaking way possible. The first message came 2 days after the compensation was approved. Emily, we heard you're back in the country. We've missed you so much. Can we come see you? I stared at my mother's text for a long time. Part of me wanted to say no, but the lonely, winded daughter inside me still craved their love. So I said yes. When they walked through the door of my small apartment, the emotions hit hard. My mother hugged me and cried. My father looked at my prosthetic leg and cleared his throat, eyes misty. My sister brought gifts and said all the right things. For a short while, it felt like healing had begun. We spent evenings talking about my deployment, the explosion, and the long recovery. I opened up about the nightmares, the phantom pain, and how hard it was to accept my new reality. They listened. They comforted me. I started to believe that maybe the distance during my darkest time had been a terrible mistake they regretted. Then the questions started creeping in. One evening, my father casually asked, "So, how is the government helping you? Are they giving you enough to live on?" I answered vaguely. Something in his tone made me uneasy. A few days later, my sister pulled me aside. "Sis, we've been struggling a lot. The house needs repairs. Medical bills are piling up. Since you have this payout now, maybe you could help the family? We raised you. We deserve to be supported too." My heart sank. The real blow came on a Sunday afternoon. My mother brought official-looking documents. She sat me down gently, holding my hands. "Sweetheart, we spoke to a financial advisor. The smartest thing is to put your compensation into a family trust. That way we can all benefit. You won't have to worry about managing it alone, and we can finally catch up after all the hard years. I pulled my hands away slowly. You want your names on my money. The money I earned by losing part of my leg in combat. The room went silent. My father's face hardened. We sacrificed a lot for you, Emily. You were never an easy child. Now it's time to give back. That sentence shattered everything left inside me. I saw the truth so clearly it hurt to breathe. They hadn't come for me. They had come for the payout. The same family that couldn't drive a few hours when I was fighting for my life in the hospital was suddenly loving and attentive the moment money entered the picture. I asked them to leave that night. The tears, the guilt trips, the accusations flew. You're being selfish. My sister shouted, "You've changed." My mother cried, "You owe us." My father said coldly. The door closed and I collapsed. I cried until my body shook. The betrayal felt worse than the explosion. At least the Ide was honest about trying to destroy me. My family had hidden their true feelings for years. For weeks I struggled in darkness. I questioned my worth. I wondered if I was lovable at all. The loneliness was crushing, but slowly something shifted. I started attending veteran support groups. I met strong women who had walked similar paths. One of them looked me in the eyes and said, "Your blood paid for that money. Don't you dare let anyone steal your sacrifice." That was my turning point. I stopped making excuses for them. I began to rebuild not just my body, but my boundaries and my self-worth. I hired a lawyer. I documented every message and conversation, and I started planning how to protect what I had earned with my life. The revenge wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet, firm, and final. I sent them a carefully written letter through my lawyer. It stated clearly that any further attempts to access my compensation would lead to legal consequences. I also sent one last personal message to the family group chat. I survived an explosion that nearly killed me. I survived months of pain and loneliness when you chose not to show up. I will survive your betrayal too. The money you want was paid for with my body and my sacrifice. You will never touch it. Please do not contact me again. Their responses were painful. Angry messages, guilt trips, even some public posts trying to make me look like the villain. But I stayed strong. I blocked their numbers. I focused on my healing. Over the following months, the truth began to spread naturally. A cousin who had seen everything shared screenshots in a family group. Veterans in our community heard the story. People who once respected my parents started looking at them differently. They faced quiet judgment and lost the admiration they once enjoyed. They were exposed, not destroyed, but forced to live with the consequences of their choices. I used part of my compensation to buy a small, accessible home with a peaceful garden. I planted flowers that bloom even after the harshest conditions, a daily reminder of my own resilience. I started mentoring young women entering military service and supported other wounded veterans who had no family backup. Today I walk every morning. One step real, one step forged in strength. I no longer wait for their love. I give that love to myself. If you're watching this and you've been betrayed by the people who were supposed to protect you, please hear these words. Your value is not in what you can provide others. Your pain does not make you unworthy of love. And your survival is already proof of how incredibly strong you are. Choose yourself when no one else does. Protect your peace. Protect what you've earned through blood, tears, and courage. The right people will love you without conditions. I'm Emily. I went from hospital bed to heartbreak, but I came out on the other side whole, healed, and finally free. Thank you for sitting with me through this story. If it moved you, leave a comment with the word stronger. Let's remind each other that we are never alone. Protect your heart. It is the most precious thing you own. Soft, hopeful music fades in.